So our goal today is to try to find either a brake master that is a bigger bore than this brake master, or a power brakes unit that I can space out about 5 inches or even 4 inches just to clear the clutch. So that means I will have my brake booster here and I'll have my master up here, which I'm fine with. All I got to do is just basically find one that's going to work for my want and need. So today we're going to go to the scrapyard and we're going to take a look around and see if any cars will work for the application that I want them to work in. Now, we might find nothing, but you know what? A day at the scrapyard's a good day. So let's get at this. When you go to the scrapyard, sometimes you find things you want, sometimes you find things you don't want, but you always find something cool. So I'm going to put up some photos of the stuff I found there. I found an old Signet, which are basically unheard of in this part of the country. So we'll see what we can see there and see what else we can find. But there's some pretty cool stuff at the scrapyard. There was a Stingray, Corvette Stingray, burnt right down to the ground. You couldn't even tell what it was. A whole bunch of smashed up Mustangs, and then there was also a turbocharged Chrysler Daytona, which is actually pretty clean, but they're pretty much gone. So I've looked through this whole yard. The thing that's going to work the best, I think, is this little Mazda 323. Now, what makes me like this one is I only have 2 lines coming out of it, which is really nice, because that's how the Mazda is in the one I have. The brake booster is super small. Now, it is tight to the firewall. Yes, I can see that, but I'm pretty sure I can build a bracket that will space that out from the firewall for me. Now, I'm going to go home and I'm going to look on and see what kind of brakes this thing came with and the specs and compare it to what I have. And I might as well try to look to see if there's any aftermarket ones out there that will work for my needs. But until then, this is the best one I found in this whole yard, so woohoo! Why we bought ourselves a 1979 to 1985 Toyota rear axle is, the reason is because it's 6-bolt, which matches the Ford Courier and the Mazda B1800s. The stock Mazda B1800 axles are 53 inches mounting face to mounting face. This one is 55, so this puts us a 1-inch space on either side is what I wanted for the axles. Sorry, for the tires in the fender flares to give it the look I want. Number 2 that we went with this, because there's no aftermarket for Mazda. So say I put this VW diesel motor in there, and I put the Toyota 5-speed transmission in there out of a 2-wheel drive. The Mazda stock rear axles, I believe, are 410. So if I did that and I didn't like how fast I was, or the RPM range for that motor is very limited, so if I wasn't making the speed and the power that I wanted for driving, then that axle's useless. These Toyota rear axles use the same pumpkin from, I believe, 79 all the way up to about 95. Yes, there's 4-cylinder and V6 models of this pumpkin, but what the difference in the gears is, I can go all the way from 303 all the way up to 571. So there is a giant difference in the amount of gears that I can do for this rear axle. So say that I find that the RPMs are too low at 80 kilometers an hour or 90 kilometers an hour, I can drop it from like a 390 to a 410. So now at a 410, my RPMs will be higher, so I'll be in the power band that I want. Say if this is 410s in here, say if it has 410s in it, and I'm doing 80 kilometers an hour at 2,500 RPM, I do not want that. I'll drop it down to 390s, which will put me at 80 kilometers an hour, about 2,000 RPM. So this way here, I can play greatly with the aftermarket and the rear gearing to make this vehicle do the speeds that I want it to do. So let's get this thing off the trailer and in the shop and waiting for the Ford Courier to come out of storage and be starting to get work done.